One of the biggest selling points for real estate companies and real estate developers right now is the fact that you can buy and spread your payment. Either you are buying a land in Ekpe or you are buying an off-plan in Lekki Phase 1. So you always have this option of doing 3 months, 6 months, 12 months payment plan on your investment. Now, a couple of investors have got their hands burnt of buying a property on installment, which is some people, after they finish the payments, there's no property to allocate to them, or developers at times can come up with some nasty default charges or default interest on the property that they bought. So in this episode of Meet the Property Guy, we'll be looking at the common T&C, the common terms and conditions when you buy a property on installment. It can be a land, it can be a house. What are the common terms and conditions that you must understand? Now, in case you are coming across a video like this for the first time, this is Meet the Property channel, and this will discuss everything real estate for first-time investors, avid investors. We share all the tips and guides that you need to understand. Basically, want to invest in real estate in Lagos or even in Nigeria entirely, about land documents, return on investments, risk, everything basically that you need to know about the properties, about real estate companies, about the locations. So after watching this particular episode, I will also advise that you also go to our different playlists. We have a playlist on real estate companies. So there are a lot of topics that you have done on that. You have a playlist on land documents, hierarchy of property titles, real estate property reviews, and so on. By going into any of these playlists and watching the different videos that we have there, you are definitely going to learn a lot from it. So let's go into the topic, the T&C of buying properties on installment here in Nigeria. So before we go into talking about the T&C of the different installment properties or buying the property in installments, if you have been watching our videos, this is your first video, this is your second video, this is your fifth video, and you have not subscribed yet, we really want you to subscribe. We know that some of you guys watch our videos from your TV. Can you just go on your mobile phone, YouTube, Meet the Property Guy, and click your subscribe and continue enjoying our content on your TV? But we really want you to subscribe because we don't want you to miss any of our videos, and we are going to roll out a membership program very soon. And the only way we can add you to a particular membership is if you are one of our subscribers. So we really want you to subscribe so that you don't miss any of our content. All right, so now let's go into talking about the T&C, the terms and conditions whenever you are buying a property on installment, which you must understand because it's very important. If you don't understand these terms and conditions, trust me, you are likely going to go into trouble when you buy some of these properties. All right, now the first policy that we'll be talking about is the default policy. Now, if you are buying a property on installment, there is always a category or different categories of payment plans. Most companies always have 0 to 3 months, then they have 3 to 6 months, and then they have 6 to 12 months. Some still have 12 to 18 and then 18 to 24, depending on how it is. Now, so most times when you are buying the property, you are expected to pick one of this category. If it's 6 to 12 months you are going for, if it's 0 to 3 months that you are going for, because the 0 to 3 months usually is always an outright. Some companies do 1 month outright, some do 2 weeks outright, depending. So now the default policy is always in the contract of sale. Sometimes the companies also put it in their FAQ, which they are frequently asked questions. The default policy represents what's going to happen if, number one, you don't meet up the payments. So you're supposed to pay within 3 months. What's going to happen if you don't pay within 3 months? You're supposed to pay within 6 months. What will happen if you don't pay within 6 months? That's the first default condition or default terms. And then the second thing is, if you are buying the property on installments, you should have it in mind. The companies expect you to drop a particular amount every month. I've got a couple of feedbacks where investors are not aware of this, so it's quite important for me to do this publicly. The companies expect you to drop a particular amount every month regarding a particular subscription. Now, it's possible for you to negotiate that beforehand and tell them that I don't want to pay every month. I'll be paying every 3 months, or I'll be paying every 4 months. So I don't want to pay monthly, I'll be paying quarterly. But you should have it in mind, they expect you to drop a particular amount every particular month. So sometimes too, the companies are also going to put a default term or a default clause in the contract that represents what's going to happen to that your subscription if you don't pay anything in a month, or if you don't pay anything for consecutive months. So kindly always look out for these terms and for this condition. So the second clause is regarding the payment structure or the payment plan. In the first clause, I mentioned in the default policy that there is always categories of payment plan. It's only 3 months, 3 to 6, 6 to 12, depending on the company that you are buying from. Now, there's also a payment structure. Some companies also have a payment structure where they are going to do a table and then talk about the deposits. Is 5 million, is 2 million, is 10%, is 20%. That's part of the payment structure. Then after the deposits, some of them are going to do a table and indicate there a particular amount they expect you to be dropping every month for the 3 months, for the 6 months, or for the 12 months. Now, this is what we regard as a payment structure. Now, the good thing is that for a lot of companies, this payment structure can be negotiated. So you can tell them that, oh, I don't have 5 million to drop as deposits. I can drop 2.5 or 2 million. Then instead of you to be paying 500k every month, based on this your table, I can be paying 600k or I can be paying 700k every month. That's you negotiating a payment structure. Or okay, I can do more than 5 million deposits, so I'm going to do 10 million deposits. So instead of me paying 1 million every month, I'll be paying maybe 600k or 500k every month. That's a payment structure. But you want to ensure that you negotiate this structure with them right before you pay the first deposit and before you sign the contract. So that's about the payment structure. Now, the third terms and conditions that you must understand is regarding the resale policy. Now, a lot of you investors are not aware of this yet, but gradually developers and real estate companies have started shifting in on some certain policies into their contracts regarding when you want to resell. So some of them will tell you that if you want to resell for change of ownership, they are going to do 2.5%. Some of them will tell you that for change of ownership, they will do 5%. Some of them will tell you for change of ownership, they will do 250,000 or whatever amount that they write there. So you must also understand this particular resale policy. And there are also some companies that will tell you that if you want to resell, you must inform them. There are some companies that will tell you that if you want to resell, you must inform them in case they want to buy or in case they want to market for you. So you want to understand the resale policy of that particular project or of that particular developer. Now, the fourth policy is refund policy. I've done a whole episode talking about the different refund policies of real estate companies and real estate developers in Lagos. So you want to understand their refund policy. Some for refund, they are going to tell you is total amount that you are paid less 30%. Some will tell you total amount that you are paid less 40%, and some will tell you no refund, except you find someone else that is going to take over the subscription, and then whatever the person pay, they refund your money. And to be very frank with you, a lot of companies are tilting towards no refund. A lot of them will expect that you find someone else to continue that subscription, and then whatever that person pay, they refund you. So you want to be certain, you want to understand the refund policy of the company that you are buying from. So most times the refund policy and the resale policy always go hand to hand. They always follow each other. So you see the condition for resale, you see the condition for refund, that okay, if you want to resell the property, inform us, this is what you are going to do for change of ownership and blah blah blah. And then in case you want to terminate the subscription, we are going to refund you or we are not going to refund you. Most times it's always in the FAQ. Now the next one is about the delivery policy. Now a lot of companies have, particularly if it's off plan, So they have their different clauses and their different terms on delivery. So for off plans, some will tell you that okay, after you finish payment, then you give them 6 months. That's the duration for them to deliver. So we tell you that okay, once you pay up to 60% or 70%, they are going to allocate your unit, and then by the time you pay 100%, you get your keys. That's their own delivery policy. So I'm going to deliver finished, so I'm going to deliver carcass, which means that they deliver the skeleton. For carcass, they deliver the skeleton. They don't do the floor tiles, they don't do the wall tiles, they don't do the fittings, the cabinets, the wardrobes, and so on. So you also want to understand the delivery policy, particularly if you are buying an off plan. If they don't do delivery based on your payments plan, some are also going to include the delivery dates there, that okay, is March 2024, September 2025, blah 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 blah. That's when we are going to deliver. So that some of them also input it there. Now delivery policy can also represent the allocation policy too. If it's land that you are buying, some will tell you that okay, pay for the land and then we allocate. If you want to build, they will collect development levy. While some will tell you that you pay for the land, you pay for the survey, the deed of assignment, the development levy, clear everything before they are going to allocate you. So it varies also. So you want to also know the terms and conditions that follows your allocation. It's also very, very important you understand that. Now lastly, the terms that you must also take note of is regarding the ancillary fees or statutory fees, which means that any other payment that you have to make apart from what you are paying for the house or for the land. So some of these properties are all inclusive, which means that including the cost of documentation and development levy in that particular property. Estate like Itunu, Amen also have incorporated that for Amen Phase 3 and Tiara. Then which other property? There are a couple of properties that are all inclusive, and then some properties they break it down. This for land or this for house. Then you see have this also amount 700k or 400k or whatever k for survey, 250k or 500k for deed of assignments, 1.5 million or 2 million for your development levy. They break it down in your contract and in your FAQ. So you want to know the entire other cost that is attached to that particular subscription. Then among the statutory fees is also service charge. Particularly if you are buying a service plot or you are buying an apartment in all those buildings on 2-3 floors or 5 floors, that you have different families that own different blocks there. So the service charge is also very, very important, because you want to add that to your investment plan. So some service charge is 700k, some service charge is 500k, depending on what the companies are offering. The more centralized the estate is, the higher the service charge. So water is central, generator is central, there is a security guard, there is a central, there is people handling the maintenance, there's people handling the cleaning. Your service charge will be high, very high. But if you are the one that do your borehole, so water is not central. You are the one that have to decide how you want to do your power backup. If you are going to do solar or generator, that means the service charge that you just be paying is for LOMA, which is waste bin, security, and then maintaining the estate. Your service charge is going to be minimal. So you need to understand this particular service charge. So I've got people that come to my DM that no, I want a centralized estate, fully serviced, blah blah blah. Hey, fully serviced estate, they can charge you 1 million naira per annum for service charge, and you have to pay because it's centralized. If you don't pay it, you can't use it. They just go and block your water. You don't have water in the house. So service charge is also part of the statutory fees that you also have to take note of, particularly if you are buying a free service estate. So these are the T and C for statutory fees. So I've talked about defaults, I've talked about payment structure, I've talked about resale, I've talked about refund, and then I talked about the statutory fees, and then which other one did I talk about again? And I talked about one particular thing too. So these particular T and C's are very, very important. You take note of them. Some companies are going to put it in the FAQ. Some companies are going to put it in the contract. Always look out for those lines so that you know what you are really getting yourself into. So if there's any property that you have bought on installment or on payment plan, and then you have a bad review about that property, you have a bad experience about that property, I will appreciate it if you can share your experience. Like I always say, a lot of people are reading these comments, and your review and your experience might just save someone from making the same mistake. So you can drop your review, you can drop your experience, someone is going to learn from it, and if there's any way that I can assist you with it also, I also drop my comment, then I also provide my own advice and my own suggestions for you. So once again, we're also inviting you to subscribe to our channel if you have not done so yet. Trust me, we have so much valuable content for you, and we don't want you to miss any of them. And we also have other plans to start membership very, very soon. I don't want you to be left out. So kindly subscribe to our content, turn on the notification button, share our content, give us a thumb like when you enjoy our content, and invite more and more people to our channel, invite more and more people to our videos. So I see the number one property on the planet, your property advisor, your property consultant, Rabi Mustafa is the name. Thanks for watching our videos, and see you next time.